Students, today we are going to learn about the preparation of statement of profit or loss. Statement of profit or loss is prepared in case of single entry system in order to find out the profit or loss made during one accounting year. There are two methods to find out the profit or loss made by the business. First one is the net worth method and second one is the conversion method. So conversion method is not included in your 11th standard syllabus, so we are not going to study about that. But then we are going to study about the net worth method. This method is used in order to find out the profit or loss made by the business under single entry system. But under double entry system, we can find out the profit or loss made by the business by preparing trading account and profit and loss account for the accounting year. But then under single entry system, only one aspect of the transaction is recorded. So due to sufficient information, we cannot prepare the trading account or the profit and loss account. The information available is inadequate or insufficient. So we have to prepare the statement of profit or loss for the single entry system. Now in order to prepare the statement of profit or loss, first we have to ascertain the closing capital and the opening capital. The formula to calculate the normal capital is equal to assets minus liabilities, and the closing capital is the capital which is calculated on the last day of the accounting year. So on that particular day, what is the total amount of assets we have to calculate, and at the same time we also have to calculate the total amount of the liabilities. So closing capital is equal to total amount of the assets, closing assets, minus total amount of the closing liabilities. We will get the closing capital. Then we have to find out the opening capital. Opening capital is calculated at the beginning of the accounting year. So we have to take the total amount of the opening assets, and from that we have to subtract the total amount of the opening liabilities. We will get the opening capital. Now if the closing capital is more than the opening capital, the difference is known as profit. But if the opening capital is more than the closing capital, then the difference is known as loss. And also we have to give effect to other adjustment. Suppose any additional capital is invested during the accounting year, or if the businessman has withdrawn cash or goods from the business for the personal use, then also we have to give effect to the adjustments like depreciation, bad debt, provision of bad debt, outstanding expenses, prepaid expenses. Then only we can calculate the net profit or net loss. Here the statement is given. Title is very important in the books of, you can write the name of the businessman or the firm, then statement of profit or loss for the year ended. We have to start with the closing capital. Now students, we have already learnt how to find out the closing capital while making the balance sheet in the final account. First we take the opening capital from the trial balance. In that we add the net profit if the profit is made by the business, or else we subtract the net loss if there is a net loss during that particular year. Then we also subtract the drawings, and after that we get the closing capital. Here we are going to find out the net profit, so we have to go in the reverse order. We have to start with the closing capital or the capital at the end of the year. Here we have to add drawings made in cash, or if the goods are withdrawn, then that the value of those goods we have to take into consideration, and the drawings is subtracted as we are going, the drawings is added. As we are going in the reverse order, we are adding the drawing. But if you remember, in the balance sheet of the final account, we subtract drawings from the opening capital. So here we are going in the reverse order. So we add drawings here. Then if any additional capital is invested in the business, we have to subtract that. We also have to subtract the opening capital, then only we get the net profit or net loss for the year. Here the small example is given to find out the profit or loss. Opening capital rupees 90,000, closing capital is rupees 1,50,000, additional capital brought during the year rupees 10,000, drawings made during the year rupees 15,000. We have to start with the closing capital. First we have to give the heading statement of profit or loss for the year ending. Then we have to take the closing capital 1,50,000. In that we have to add drawings. Here drawings is given 15,000. So after adding drawings we get 1,65,000. From that we have to subtract the additional capital introduced during the year 10,000. So adjusted closing capital is rupees 1,55,000. From that we have to subtract the opening capital rupees 90,000. So net profit for the year is 65,000. Now the additional information which is given in the question. So first one is the additional capital. Sometimes the businessman invests additional cash in the business, or he purchases any kind of fixed asset. Then that additional capital is subtracted from the closing capital. Second point is the drawings. Cash or goods withdrawn by the businessman from the business for his personal use are added in the closing capital. Then there is depreciation. Depreciation is the loss in the value of asset. Since it is the loss, it is deducted from the statement of profit. Then fourth one is the bad debt. Bad debt is the amount irrecoverable from the debtors. It is also a loss, so it is deducted from the statement of profit or loss. Then fifth point is reserve for doubtful debts. This is the provision made because the businessman feels that some more debtors may not pay the debt. So it is the estimated loss, and that is why it is deducted from the statement of profit or loss. Then undervaluation and overvaluation of assets and liabilities. First point is the undervaluation of assets. Now sometimes the value of asset is written less than the actual value. So we have to increase the value of that asset, and then we can get the correct value. So when we increase the value of that particular asset, it is to be added in the statement of profit because it is like a gain for the business. But point B is overvaluation of the assets. If the value of the asset is written more than the actual value, then we have to reduce the value of that asset. Reduction in the value of the asset is the loss for the business, so it is deducted from the statement of profit. Point C is undervaluation of the liabilities. Here the value of the liabilities is written less than the actual value. So actual value of the liabilities is more, it means we have to increase the liability. When we increase the liability, it is the loss for the business, so it is deducted from the statement of profit or loss. Point D is the overvaluation of the liabilities. It means the value of liabilities is written more than the actual value. And in order to get the correct value, we have to decrease the value of liabilities. So when we decrease the value of liabilities, our profit increases. So it is added in the statement of profit. Point number 7 is interest on loan. This is called the cost of borrowing. When the businessman has borrowed the loan, he has to pay the interest on that loan. It is the cost of borrowing. So it is an expenditure for the business. Therefore, it is deducted from the statement of profit or loss. Next point is interest on capital. Interest on capital is the expenditure for the business. Now, it is calculated on the opening capital as well as if the additional capital is brought during the year. According to the number of months, we have to calculate the interest on the additional capital. Here the example is given. Opening capital as on 31st March 2017 is rupees 1,50,000. Additional capital introduced in the business as on 1st October 2017 is rupees 40,000. The rate of interest on capital is 10% per annum. So we have to calculate the amount of interest on capital. Now this is the beginning capital, opening capital. Though they have given the date 31st March 2017, it means the new accounting year starts on 1st April 2018. And on that day the opening capital was 1,50,000. Now this accounting year, which starts on 1st April 2017, ends on 31st March 2018. So here the interest on opening capital is to be provided for 12 months. So 10% interest on rupees 1,50,000 comes to rupees 15,000. The additional capital is introduced on 1st October 2017. So we have to count the months from October till 31st March 2018. That comes to 6 months. So 10% interest on 40,000 for 6 months comes to rupees 2,000. So total amount of interest on capital is rupees 17,000. Then next is interest on drawings. Interest on drawing is the income for the business. So it is to be added in the statement of profit. Now sometimes the date of drawings is not given in the question. At that time we have to take the interest on drawings for 6 months. Then outstanding or unpaid expenses. These expenses are due for the accounting year but they are not yet paid. So this is the liability of the business. So it is to be deducted from the statement of profit or loss. Then prepaid expenses or expenses paid in advance. Now these expenses are paid in advance for the next accounting year, for which the businessman is going to receive the benefit. Something that is receivable is an asset of the business. So therefore prepaid expenses are added in the statement of profit or loss. Here the statement of profit or loss for the year ended is given, starting with the closing capital or capital at the end of the accounting year. In that we have to add drawings made during the year in cash or in any other kind. Then we have to subtract the additional capital if it is given in the question. Then we get the adjusted closing capital. From that we have to subtract the opening capital or the capital at the beginning of the accounting year. After that we get profit before adjustment. In that we have to add income or gains which are received during the year. First is the interest on drawings, then interest on investment if it is given in the question. If the businessman has invested funds in any other business or in shares or in debentures, and if he receives any interest on that, it is the income for the business, it is to be added. Then prepaid expenses are added. Then outstanding income, this is the income receivable in the future. This is due for the accounting year but not yet received. So it is receivable in the future, it is added. Then undervaluation of the asset is added because we have to increase the value of those assets. Then overvaluation of the liabilities is added because in order to get the correct value we have to reduce the value of that liability. Then we have to subtract the expenses or losses, interest on capital which is to be paid to the businessman, then interest paid on loan borrowed from the bank, then bad debt or any new provision is made for the estimated bad debt, then depreciation on fixed assets, then overvaluation of the assets. If the assets are overvalued, we have to reduce the value of that asset in order to get the correct value. Then undervaluation of the liabilities, if the value of the liabilities is written less than the actual value, then we have to increase the value of liabilities. Then outstanding expenses, the expenses are due for the accounting year but not yet paid. Then income received in advance for which we have to give the services in the future, the services are payable in the future, so it is a liability. After that we get net profit or net loss during the accounting year.